G.I. Joe, issue number 3. That's right, folks. We are still dealing with the ramifications of the past 2 issues here. I gotta commend this book for really just taking its time and building something up. It doesn't feel like each issue is supposed to be like an episode of the television show. It's more like we're doing like an arc, you know? I didn't expect that. There's some real restraint being shown in this book. And in all of the Energon universe, actually, I gotta say, from what I'm reading from it, they're really taking their time to set up things. Like, just in the last issue of the Transformers book, which I think was 16, that's when they first teased Megatron. Like, they're taking their time. They're still characters we have yet to introduce in this world yet. That's kind of interesting. So this book opens up, and we're with Clutch. The end of the last issue, Clutch was one of the few who survived. Well, they all survived except for Rock and Roll, but he infiltrated, we use that loosely, just kind of put on a uniform of the Cobra guys and followed them to figure out how to survive. So now he's wandering the halls and stumbles into a huge base where he's like, oh, this looks terrifying. A lot of crazy stuff going on here. He bumps into Mercer, who's like the big heavy working for Destro. He's like, get back in line, Runt. I'm going to knock you a few rounds if you need to be better motivated. And Destro comes in like, would you just relax? Okay, you like embarrass me today. I don't need you to embarrass me here too. All right, you're making me annoyed. Stop it. We gotta like talk about our next plans and what's going on. So we see that Destro is also like building a new thing. There's like some vats and tubes and stuff, and Mercer's curious to see what that's gonna be. But Cobra Commander shows up before we can get the reveal of what they're building, because he's like, I can't tell everybody our plans. There's an imposter among us. We have an unwelcome guest who's here infiltrating our ranks. And Clutch is, of course, thinking, oh, I've been caught. I can't get out of this. I'm caught. But then we see one of like the scientists just screaming, Cobra, with a knife, trying to stab Cobra Commander. And Cobra Commander like breaks his neck or something. There's like a huge crunching noise, but the guy's still like alive. He just can't. I guess he breaks his jaw or something. Anyways, it's somebody from Cobra Law. The great Galabulus tried to send someone to assassinate Cobra Commander. It didn't work. Cobra Commander got the jump on them. So they send them into like a hole where like robotic snakes eat them. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what else you need to do. Cobra Commander killed like someone trying to assassinate him and shoved him into like a robotic snake hole. What else do you do? You know, like it's kind of good. It's stupid, but I dig it. Just a big hole of robot snakes in the middle of the room. It's kind of fun. Dig it a lot. So the thing that we know is we have to get a certain scientist who's working on like the mind wave sciences so we can like control people. And he's currently under like witness protection. So Cobra Commander's sending a couple of people to go get the brainwave scanner. We'll come back to who they are because that's also the plan that the G.I. Joes are going to go with. But currently in the pit, we are seeing Duke fighting it out with Risk. I think that's his name. I can't remember. Just like the big suited guy who's like, hey, you're kind of an asshole, Duke. They start beating each other up. And Baroness just goes, should we stop this? Not really. Let's just let them have it out. Just boys being assholes to each other. They're just getting ready to like beat each other up some more. And we see that Risk has like a shock gauntlet that he puts on. I guess it's not really a gauntlet. It's more like a brass knuckle. He's gonna like shock Duke in the head as they're getting ready to like punch each other. Then a knife comes flying through the room, stops them from beating each other up, and it's Sergeant Stalker who's like, shut up, quit measuring your dicks, you're both being idiots, apologize, shake hands, or more of our men are gonna die. I ain't putting up with this crap. So the guys just accept it, and then Stalker just goes back down to have a little nap. So they investigate one of the weapons that melted their guns. They have big lasers? How do they have big lasers? I don't understand like what this energy source is that they're using for this. It doesn't make any sense. Duke draws like a crude drawing of Cobra, and then CoverGirl bursts in, like, sorry to interrupt, but I've got like a weird communication. And we see that Clutch managed to like send them a tracker like, hey, I don't know where I am. I guess I'm like in a Cobra strike team or something. They're like after like a brainwave scanner of like a Dr. Archibald Monev. They're going to Washington, D.C. to get him. Transmission cuts out, and Duke's like, all right, we got our mission. Let's get ready and get the jet fired up. He's like, well, that's kind of a problem there, Duke, because if you pay attention a little bit, Monev will be appearing in front of Congress in about 6 hours, and we already have him in custody, so we just got to get to him before Cobra gets to him. Which, of course, is not going to happen. Because it's a G.I. Joe comic. So this is today's mission. Last couple of issues, it was like, let's get the big technology. This one is, let's get the guy. That's kind of fun. So we do end up in Washington, D.C. We see that Monev has been under custody, and there's 2 agents that are talking to him. They're like, look, you got to come with us. We're going to secure you, keep you safe. You're a wanted man now. Things are happening. One of the soldiers, or just like security people who have him, calls him Doctor Venom. I don't know if that's a name from G.I. Joe. I recognize. I'm going to look it up as we talk. G.I. Joe, Doctor Venom. I'm thinking it's, I guess it's like a guy. Yeah, there you go. He's from the Marvel Comics. Dr. Venom was a scientist working for Cobra. He's the inventor of the brainwave scanner. He appeared in the Marvel G.I. Joe comic series. So my knowledge is from the toys. He does have a toy, but not a toy that I've seen in a while. So there you go. Dr. Venom. Does he work with Dr. Mindbender? I'm guessing that's going to come up at some point. Anyways, there's like a classic character from the Marvel comic book. He's in this book now. And the security that's talking to him, they point a gun at him ready to kill. They try to shoot, but suddenly something hits the side of the vehicle they're in. Looks like some smoke gas is thrown into the room. The guys start to get knocked out. And then as Archibald tries to escape, Duke has a gun pointed at him like, hey, we're here to save you. The rest of the team shows up, right, to like stop everything. We see that the guard that was like being security for Monev is actually a Crimson Guard for Cobra, so he's like, we're going to take you down, but he gets his head caved in before he can do anything. But this is not like a regular Cobra agent, this is somebody else. They're like a Crimson Guard. What is that? That's something terrifying. So, while they do got Dr. Monev, they have to like leave as lasers start to fire at them, and that's when we get to reveal that the people that Cobra Commander sent to capture Dr. Monev is the Crimson Guard, which we know is controlled by Tomax and Zaymot. So they show up with their, it's not a Hiss tank, is it? Which one is this? I'm pretty sure Starscream's attached to a Hiss tank. This is just like a big Jeep with some missiles on it. And these 2 guys were like, I guess we're not doing this in the shadows anymore. We're just going to blow you up. Okay, cool. It's pretty fun. It's well done. Like, this book just works. It's stupid, silly cartoon fun, and that's kind of what this seems to be. It's less serious than the Transformers one, if I'm being completely honest. And I think it has a lot to do with, like, the artwork. It's not as, like, you know, sad to see, like, oh man, the military's failing. It's more like, these are colorful characters. They have, like, a robot snake pit. That's not normal. It's pretty fun, though, I gotta say. It is pretty fun. So, G.I. Joe issue number 3. I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.